What is your focus as the new Group Managing Director of this company?
Well, Sime Darby Property is, as you know, a well-established property development company.
Contributes to the success of the company?
One is obviously having been in the game for a long time.
Why has it done so well, despite us being in the middle of a pandemic?
Well, I believe there's always demand for the right products. We are confident that the second half of this year will be better than the first half. We've got a long-standing relationship with Invest Selangor. Hi, my name is Azmi from Sime Darby Property Bhd. Sime Darby Property is a leading property developer for the last 47 years with an excellent track record. Through our developments, we have built the economy and, more importantly, the communities.
With bookings totaling 1.1 billion ringgit garnered as of July 31st, 2020, Sime Darby Property Bhd remains optimistic and resilient despite the challenges of COVID-19. The company's positive outlook for next year is supported by Bank Negara Malaysia's recent statement that the property market will remain resilient in 2020 and, in line with global projections, is expected to rebound in 2021. The company will continue to focus on developing mid-range and affordable residences in locations with great potential. This includes key areas in Selangor. With the assistance of Invest Selangor as a state agency, Sime Darby Property Berhad believes that its path to further growth will be smooth, thus giving back to the state's efforts to command the top spot on the national GDP ladder.
Hi, you're watching Investment Insider with me, Cynthia Ng. Joining me on the show today is a very special guest. He has vast experience in real estate and asset management. He is Dato' Azmi Merican. He is now the Group Managing Director of Sime Darby Property Bhd. Welcome, Dato' Azmi. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks, Cynthia.
Now, Dato' Azmi, I'd like to start by getting to know Sime Darby Property. It is a well-known name in Malaysia as a property developer. It has been a leader in the property industry for over 4 decades. What is your focus as the new Group Managing Director of this company?
Well, Sime Darby Property is, as you know, a well-established property development company. Our main focus is really developing townships. Right now, we're going beyond townships because we're also looking at developing other areas of businesses where we can look at more recurring income businesses. So we're looking at retail, we're looking at our industrial and logistics business to drive the company forward. So those are the main focus
what do you think contributes to the success of the company?
Well, there's many factors that contribute. One is obviously, having been in the game for a long time, and the fact that we know our customers well, and we have a reputation for delivering exceptionally well-planned townships where the homeowners have benefited through appreciation of their investment, of their homes, their lifestyle, where they appreciate the community that they live in, and obviously the fact that Sime Darby not just build homes. We build a whole ecosystem for people who live in those communities.
I want to talk about this ecosystem and some of the developments that you have. Can you tell us about the key considerations that go into place when deciding to start a new development?
Well, of course, location is very important. It's a very, very big factor, but that's not the only factor. I think overriding is the fact when we want to look at any new development, it has to be in line with what we plan, strategically, I mean. So if it's strategic for us to go into some new area, and that's in line with what we plan to do, then we will, of course, plan to execute what we've got planned for that location. And in Selangor, I think, we are blessed that we have very strategic locations. Right here in Bandar Bukit Raja, you've seen how the township has grown.
Now, recently, Sime Darby launched the Serenia area, which was very successful, 100% take-up rate for all 212 units.
Yep.
I want to talk a bit about demand. Where is demand coming from, and why has it done so well? Despite us being in the middle of a pandemic.
Well, I believe there's always demand for the right products. Home ownership is a big thing, and people want to buy and live, and in a community that will allow them to, grow a family. What we found in Serenia is that we looked at products that can sell, and having the right products there. Again, when we're looking at our launches, we plan for products that we think the community wants. And this is the reason why we think it's sold out. Research that goes into before you launch, meaning to take into account what purchasers like, what they don't like, how do they design the house, what are our competitors offering. So all those things we take into account before producing the home.
So I just want to talk about a bit about the pandemic and how it has affected industries.
Yep.
Everyone is affected, right? What about Sime Darby? What are some of the challenges that you had faced during that time?
Yeah, and for property developers in general, I think we faced a very tough time. First of all, during that period, all our sales galleries are closed, so we can't really open it up for people to come and view. And it is actually a product where you want to come in and you want to talk to people, you want to see the model, or you want to talk about the township. So that's one of the issues that affected us. We can't do work at sites, so our construction work has to stop. So revenue was affected, obviously, and I think it's a big factor for us when we are affected on our top line. But we're still carrying a lot of costs. If you look at the consumer, to make a commitment such as buying a house, one of the biggest investments, I don't think you will want to rush. So people take a bit of time to see, hey, what are property companies offering in light of this issue, and whether you can get better deals. They're going to shop around. Are their jobs secure? So things like that comes into play, and it's all affected many of us. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Dato, for sharing those thoughts and insights. We want to talk a bit more about the challenges that you have faced during the MCO and how Invest Selangor has helped you overcome some of those hurdles. We'll take a short break. We'll be back shortly. See you. Welcome back to Investment Insider with me, Cynthia Ng, and still with me on the show is Dato Azmi Merican. He is the Group Managing Director of Sime Darby Property Bhd. So earlier, Dato, we were talking about the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic and the movement control order. There are many things that have been drawn up to help the property market, such as lower interest rates, the introduction of the home ownership program, and also stimulus packages from Berhad and Bencana. I would like to get your thoughts about those measures, and have they helped boost consumer sentiment or at least cushion negative impact?
We are confident that the second half of this year would be better than the first half. What we are trying to do now is, we're hoping that we can convert some of our bookings, and since we have quite a healthy booking pipeline, about 1.1 billion right now, our focus is to see how much of that can be converted. And I think with the help of lower interest rates, with Bencana, with the home ownership campaign, we are confident that we will have a better second half. We think it will slowly kick in the recovery. However, we feel that the recovery will not be will be more gradual recovery.
Many sectors in the property market have been badly hit by the COVID-19 pandemic. Are there any bright spots in the property segment?
Yes, essentially our houses in our townships continue to do well. We've seen a strong demand pipeline for industrial and logistics product.
Industrial?
Yes. We've got a JV with Mitsui and Mitsubishi for our industrial business, so that's also going on well. We have a plan on how to look at how do we accelerate the monetization of our industrial land banks. So essentially, I think this is a bright spot. The other good thing is this will spur a lot of economic activity.
I want to take this discussion to a different part, which is really to talk about Invest Selangor and how this agency has helped many companies that I've spoke with over the course of this series about how it helped facilitate growth and business expansion plans. Can you talk about how the relationship that you have with Invest Selangor, how it has helped Sime Darby Property?
We've got a long-standing relationship with Invest Selangor. We've worked with Selangor State for close to 50 years, and we've got quite a good relationship. I think when Invest Selangor comes in, is where we get to do things really fast, and that really matters for us because you can imagine for property developers, we deal with state. When it comes to land issues, we deal with local authorities. So, for example, we've got to submit our plans for development. We look at our kebenaran merancang or KM. We submit our building plans, for each development. On top of that, there are various other issues that we need to deal with. There's issue of dealing with agencies, issuing titles. There's issues of conversion of land into an amalgamation of land titles. So there are many of these issues, and we deal with multiple agencies. What Invest Selangor has helped us is really give us a little bit more attention in how we can do this and do this faster.
Are there any unique challenges that they have helped to in helping you overcome some
I think
hurdles
there's
you
a
faced?
number of challenges, not going into specifics. Obviously, as property developers, we have our own plans, what we want to do. Certain areas have zoning issues. I think we're extremely effective when it comes to trying to attract foreign companies to come into Selangor.
Can you share with us the growth plans for Sime Darby Property?
Going forward, what we will do is move a little bit more from just a property development company to a real estate services company. So if you look at that, we are looking at how do we diversify our income stream by having a recurring income portfolio, looking at investments and launching products, looking at products that are related to investments. So we're replanning this, and how do we look at monetizing the land and monetizing it differently, and the plan is to monetize it faster.
All right. Well, thank you for your time, Dato, and thank you for hosting us today at your Bukit Raja showroom. And I wish you all the best with your growth plans and in building Selangor together.
Thank you very much, Cynthia.
You have been watching Investment Insider with me, Cynthia Ng. Till we see you again in the next episode. Goodbye. Now, Nestle is a very well-loved brand among Malaysians.
Malaysia has become the most important Milo market, so plant-based is emerging as a trend.